zoom. The gear to the single wire, rudder to the 3 wires. So that's it. I will go ahead and start powering up the receiver now. I'll pick up my transmitter and let's go ahead with it. Well, I don't recall or I don't remember, but let me again repeat again if I have not done it earlier. You need to set up something across on the transmitter before you go ahead and start programming or setting up the gyro. I think it's a bit too tough for me to go to the main menu. Well, you can see here the input aux2. aux2 is not for a 6 channel that we were a 7 channel plus. aux2 I have inhibited here, whereas the gear channel should be gyro. It was earlier as inhibited, but I've gone ahead and fixed it to the gyro. This gear channel, you can see this gear channel is what is there on the receiver. I think you can see that. Yeah, it says gear here. So go ahead and fix the gear channel to gyro. All right. I'll go ahead and switch on my transmitter. Let me power up the receiver. Well, the gyro is on. You can see steady blinks. That means to say, oh, it's on head holding mode. So you get a steady blink, it's head holding. If it is, no, I'm sorry, if it is steady, if it is completely on and steady, it's head holding mode. If it is steady blinks, beep, 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 then it's on rate mode. Now, before that, let me take you to the menu. Now, it's a little bit tough facing away from you and handling this. Go to the gyro section of the menu. This is the one now. Expo gyro. Now, right now it is on rudder. Go ahead and switch it on to auto. You can see there is something called as a 0 and a 1. Now, 0 is a normal mode, 1 is the idle up 1 or the idle up 2, which is called as a stunt mode, which says here normal, stunt is 1 and the hold is 0. Now the way you can change from when you're flying is from a normal to stunt mode or idle up 1, idle up 2 is to shift your idle up switches. Now this is on normal, it is blinking on normal, switch it to idle up 1 now. Yes, there you go, 1 is blinking, idle up 2, 1 is also blinking. Now I have set my switches here. This basically is a normal, idle up 1, idle up 2, and this one is the throttle hold. So we'll go ahead and come back to the normal mode. I am going to move away from head holding and shift it across to rate mode, so that there is no sensors on the gyro, but I'm going to keep it at the minimum, because also in rate mode the gyro is sensing, and also in head holding mode the gyro is sensing, but there is a certain line in between the head holding and the rate mode. That line, literally you can say the gyro is not working. So the reason of me putting across on that point is I want to get the center point of the servo, so that I need to find the exactly 90 degrees basically of the servo, so that the link comes across on 90. If you remember, we had actually done this, but we have used sub trims here. But unfortunately on a rudder we don't want to use sub trims, we don't want to use trims, nor do we want to use any endpoints on the rudder. Rudder should be mechanically 90 degrees. That's the most important part of a rudder. Otherwise you will see the gyro not working properly, and you will start seeing a heli that is spinning all the way around and around on its own. So I will go ahead and shift it to from 50 to maybe, oops, 49. Yeah, it's on. You can see blink. It's on rate mode. Let's pick up the heli. let me try to fix. See, actually, you can actually see. I'm trying to move the gyro. The arm is not moving, rather the wheel is not moving. So this literally is perfectly fine. This is what I wanted. Now I will go ahead and find the place or the hole which is center, or rather it is 90 degrees to the tail boom. Let me try one by one. This is pretty much done good. In fact, if you look at it from the center to this point and to the tail boom, it is literally, or rather, let me turn this way, sorry. From the center of the servo to this arm, or rather to this point to the tail boom, it's literally 90 degrees. So I think I'll go ahead and fix this, or I'll go ahead and, I'm quite happy with this. I'll go ahead and fix my screw, and I'll fix the link here, and the link will actually go through the push rod and all the way to the pitch here, tail pitch link. You actually need to experiment. Now some of you might not use a round wheel, you can use a star, but again you need to experiment and find which is the 90 degrees that you get across on this position. All right, I've gone ahead and fixed the ball link to the wheel. I've also dabbed a little bit of CA, quick fix across over here, so it doesn't come out. And one more thing, please do not forget to fix the screw on the wheel and to the servo. I've seen many people forgetting this, and the servo coming off in air, and of course what you will see is a crash. Next part is you get the push rod guide, tail push rod. You get this in a separate pack. Go ahead and remove one end. I've removed one end, and slide this through the tail push rod guides here. We'll fix the stabilizer, horizontal stabilizer later, but you don't have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and fix it for the time being. I'll go ahead and I will fix this unit right now. Alright, I've gone ahead and fixed the ball link to the wheel. I've used a little bit of CA here just to be assured that it doesn't come off in the air. And yes, please do not forget to fix the screw on the wheel to the servo. I've seen many people forgetting, and even I myself have forgotten one of those days when I've seen the wheel come off and a crash is inevitable. Now the next section and the next part is pick up your tail push rod. It comes across with the tail boom, if I remember right, with the kit. Remove one link. Yeah, I've removed it. This is what I've removed. This is one which is already fixed there. And I would suggest go ahead and turn it as much as possible and tighten it as much as possible. Then pick up a heli, push, or rather start inserting through the tail push rod guide. And yes, what I've done also is, before this I've actually gone ahead and fixed the link on the tail pitch lever just to see if there's any binding. I saw there was no binding. It's perfectly fine. The reason why I did this was because I didn't want to go ahead and fix. I didn't want to open everything again and resize the ball link. But this was perfectly fine. It was smooth. You can do that on your own. I don't have to show that here. So let's go ahead and fix this. Actually, I'm turning it from here, from one end, if I can capture this on video. You know what, I will start fixing this and I'll be back. Well, the link is fixed through the guide rods, and you can see it is fixed here. It's also fixed here. The twist on the link is quite good, and try to put it in such a way, or rather start turning the, you can see, in such a way, the guides in such a way so that it literally comes across in a straight line. Now let's get into centering the servo and centering the pitch lever here. Switch on your transmitter. Okay, now this is a bit of a tricky stuff. Yeah, it's still on rate mode. I am not going to change any setting for the timing right now. I will power up the the receiver, and let's see what happens. The links are fixed to the wheel. The link is also fixed to the tail pitch slider lever here, the bell crank. And also, if you see, I don't know if you can, it's quite a straight line. This you can do this by literally, pushing or shifting this position, and also loosen the screws on the tail servo holders, and you can move this around. But try to get a straight line as close to possible. This is the best way to go do this, or rather, this is the best position to have.